Class 2, 1650. The fourth is the feature race of the night. King's Shield is back. His last run was in Korea when finishing down the track on the sand over there. Mighty Giant comes the all-weather for the first time. All for St Paul's are shooting for the hat-trick. Matthew Chadwick rides for Frankie Law. Apache Pass, as Tom said, a surface switch for him. So We Joy will have a surface switch 2 second up. You'll appreciate that. And Spirited Express goes to the 1650 for the first time. The only time he raced over 1600 was in the New Zealand 2000 Guineas. So this will be as far as he has competed over. What about the speed map here, Tom? Because we do have a horse like All for St Paul's in the race. Also his stablemate King's Shield, and they both like to roll forward.
Yeah, so they both like to certainly go forward. King's Shield, he likes to lead and get his own way, and when he can do that, sometimes he can be dangerous, but he is a bit hit and miss. There's King's Shield. All for St Paul's, it was a tough, gritty effort from him, being able to beat his stablemate last time out to Paul and Muddy Catcher. You'd say Mighty Giant might be able to slot in somewhere. They won't want to go 3 wide the whole trip.
No, he would try and push forward, but he's just lost a bit of that early speed, hasn't he? So I just thought the two Frankie Law runners will probably be first and second easily enough. Pearl and Tango next there, and Apache Pass should get a perfect run through back.
All right, so that's the speed map for race number 4. One of those likely pace angles is All for St Paul's. Nick was out at Sha Tin this morning, and All for St Paul's jockey is Matthew Chadwick.
Matthew, All for St Paul's is your ride in race 4 on Wednesday night. He's a horse very much in form coming into this week's race.
Yeah, he's off a last start win, so all seems good.
Just on that win last time out, obviously he went forward. He seems to have a really great attitude, this horse. Didn't want to get beaten. You must have been quite taken by the performance.
Well, he's shown that. He's shown he's very honest, and he tries his best. And it's a great pleasure to ride horses that do their best.
He's coming back to the all-weather. He has won on the all-weather over a little bit further. I guess no concern there as far as switching surface?
You wouldn't think so. I said he's won on the track, so his form, I believe, has been held. So hopefully another good performance.
Just given the nature that he runs his races, Matthew, he's drawn well. There's plenty of pace on in this race. Is he the type of horse that sort of could hand up the lead, or does he necessarily have to lead?
Well, last season I won on him sitting just off the pace, so I don't think it's a must. We'll have to see how much pace is in the race and what they want to do early. I haven't spoken to Frankie yet, so it's just a wait and see approach at the minute and see what the tactics are.
Given the nature of this race, obviously on the all-weather, he actually drops 3 pounds as well. So I guess that's going to be a positive factor as far as trying to make it a 3-timer, isn't it?
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, the weight he's got to carry isn't all that heavy, so it's got to be a benefit, especially over the further distance. So looking forward to riding him again.
You're 2 from 2 on the horse. It'd be nice to keep that unbeaten record, I'm sure. Always nice to create this relationship with certain horses, I suppose.
Oh, for sure. A winner's a winner. And when you can string up those consecutive wins, it's definitely a feather in the hat. So hopefully it continues.
Matthew Chadwick there, who rides All for St Paul's, looking to make it 3-4-3 on the horse. We move on, Paul, to our first of the replays, and Berlin Tango. This is at Happy Valley last time. He doesn't mind the all-weather. Savaquin unknown on the surface.
Yeah, so we'll see how he goes. But he's bred for it, Savaquin. I think he can run a bit of a race here. But look, Berlin Tango's a very hard horse to catch. This is only his second win here in Hong Kong. He has won one of them on the all-weather, though, to be fair. It's a small field, but it's whether he can put 2 together there.
That's the big question. The big thing that he's got in his weight is he's got a 10-pound claim, so he's only going to carry 119 pounds. You've got to probably put him in on that alone, but whether he does string 2 together remains to be seen because he's been inconsistent.
One horse that's been very consistent on the all-weather, Tom, is Apache Pass. This is him on the turf last time. Very strong field this, and his run wasn't bad at all, so he's going to love going to the inside course.
No, and it was pretty good this race, really, for him. He was wide to midfield. He fought on really well over the final stage. Of course, you've got Sawvest there, Keefe, Packing Victory, the Golden Scenery. They're all there. The Irishman pretty much next to him, who came out and won over the weekend at Sha Tin. And his run down the straight, I thought, was very good as well, first up, Paul.
Yeah, and this is 14. He steps up to 1650. He's a 3-time course and distance winner, as we can see from this graphic as well. So, look, I think he's the one to beat, honestly. I think the race will be set up nicely for him. Small field, he'll be 3 back on the inside.
It's a good report for Apache Pass. Our next replay, Paul, and we've got Mighty Giant here now. This is him in the race behind California Spangle, the group race recently. However, he's unknown on the all-weather, but his trials have looked OK on it.
The thing with Mighty Giant, he's by power, and we've seen that progeny go really well on the all-weather. Willpower, sticks out as well. Thunderstrike. The horses like that can go well on the surface. He's been out of form for a while though. He hasn't won since sort of April 21.
That's Willpower next to him there. Of course, he's been unfortunately retired, but he was doing his best work late there. I agree with Paul, Son of Power should be able to handle the surface, and he's interesting coming out of those strong races because this is a lot weaker.
Disappointing for the all-weather stocks, as you said, Tom. Willpower on the retirements list last week. And finally, we're off to the trials. King Shield. He's been up at Chungfa since coming back from that run in Korea. He's a hard horse to catch. He's likely going to lead. You can't imagine All for St Paul's is going to get in a speed battle with him. How did you assess him in this race?
Yeah, I've left him out in all honesty here. Big weight. I know he struck a bit of interference in the first turn in the race there in Korea, and he just battled on after that. He was beaten over 24 lengths. Sometimes he comes to the races, Paul, he's very good, and sometimes he comes and he's very ordinary.
Yeah.
So you just can't catch him.
No, well, he did win fresh up on a rating of 100 last time. He's on a rating of 103, so he's a similar rating, and he does go quite well fresh. So there is a couple of positives. I wasn't as harsh on him. I did include him.
All right, but Apache Pass, the one to beat?
Yeah, I think he's clearly on top of Apache Pass. This seems to be his go, the all-weather, and he goes nicely here. I put King Shield in for second. Didn't like the beach in Korea. It was sort of a deep sand there. It's a lot different from our one. All for St Paul's in there for third to be on the pace, and then So We Joy. So, look, I didn't find a spot for Berlin Tango in the end just because of his inconsistency. I end up with 6, 1, 4 and 7.
6, 4, 7 and 3, really keen on Apache Pass in this race. Coming back to a course distance surface here, I think is all going to suit him. Number 6, Apache Pass. 4, All for St Paul's, he'll be there, and he always gives his best. He's a 7-time winner from his 31 starts. So We Joy had trialled well before his last start, and I didn't think he was certainly disgraced there at all behind All for St Paul's. He battled on out wider, and Berlin Tango makes it in also. So 6, 4, 7 and 3.